Hello, everyone. Welcome back after our 2 week hiatus.
Hiatus, yeah.
Yay. We have missed you,
A
and
lot.
we definitely feel bad. I'm gonna move the mic slightly. There we go. So yeah, welcome back, Lucas.
Welcome back, Steven. I'm glad to have you.
I'm also glad to have you as well.
Yay.
So, I guess briefly we could just talk about we were on spring break.
I was on a 2 week spring break because I'm a rebel and I don't care about the rules.
Oh yeah. I was on like a week and a half because I'm similarly a rebel and I skipped one of my classes because I don't. Okay, so I had a teacher. He said that we were talking about something when we got back from spring break, but I think we still had class on Friday, even though he was talking like we weren't gonna have class on Friday. So it was super weird. I was like, I took that as a sign and just skipped that class because they didn't take attendance, and whatever, screw it. So basically, you see anything interesting over spring break at all?
I spent my days reading comics. That's all that happened.
Nice.
Japanese comics, some. There's Seconds. That's actually going to become a movie soon. It's from the same author of Scott Pilgrim, and
Mm.
Edgar Wright is also adapting that movie.
Oh wow,
So
nice.
I think it may come out next year. So maybe we're gonna get some promotional material soon enough. Should be
Awesome.
fun. I mean, honestly, I really enjoyed that comic. It was really great. If you like Scott Pilgrim, you're probably gonna enjoy Seconds. Uh, but yeah, I read a bunch of different stuff.
Nice.
It was nice. It was relaxing. I felt like I kind of need that. But other than that, nothing really stood out from what I watched. I mean, I did watch Captain Marvel. Not a big fan. Make that what you will.
Yep. I think Captain Marvel. I
You
said
saw
what
that.
I said. I think as I've thought about it, I think what I said on our last sort of podcast. Sorry about the autofocus. I feel like it's it has gotten a little bit worse. I did basically what I did over spring break though almost exclusively was play the Division.
What's
Division 2.
that?
It's a new video game that came out. It is it's a looter shooter, third person, open world, made by Ubisoft. It's so far very engaging and I'm having a lot of fun with it and I've been playing it. I put like maybe a little bit more than 24 hours in already, just it's pretty fun. I mean, I did see um
Us?
I saw Us and I kind of would like to do a full review on that movie if you watch it.
I'll watch it. Let's
I
do
feel
that.
I I might even go back and watch it with you. I did tell my girlfriend though that I would rather watch The Last Jedi again than watch Us again.
Harsh
So
statement.
this is a very harsh statement for me to make, but it was very true. I if I had to give a one word or one sentence review, it would be I was too confused to be scared. Um, One thing interestingly that I want to talk about, just like as a side note, marketing for movies has always been really important to me. For when I go watch a movie and it's not what I was marketed. Like Inglorious Bastards is a great movie, but the marketing was almost exclusively the Americans, and the Americans are only in like 5 or 6 scenes throughout the entire movie. So like I felt lied
Cheated.
to and rock. Cause like, why am I reading subtitles for the whole movie? Like it's all German and like French and stuff. I'm just like, I felt so betrayed by the marketing, and my experience in the movie was like dramatically different than what I was expecting. And then I was subsequently kind of bored because I felt like that movie was marketed to me poorly, and I don't know.
Well,
But
not poorly because you went to see it, rather unfaithfully,
un-
or
okay, yeah, it was lies. It lied to me. Lies, Steven. But it was interesting. I don't know if I can recommend seeing Us. I think I I felt very dumb watching it. Like I felt like I was just missing everything. Like I don't know what, because there's certain things in the movies that I'm assuming are symbols or metaphors, and like I have ideas about what they are, but I don't know if they're right, and I don't know if that's even the point. Like art is like interpretation or whatever, like or whatever people interpret it as. Like it can be different. But I feel like there's clear meanings to all this stuff, and I'm just not getting it. And I don't know. I felt kind of dumb, and I'm not gonna lie. I was not scared. There's a movie or there's a scene in the trailer, um, that I think like where they're all like sort of meeting each other, and the little kid says, "It's us" or whatever.
Hmm.
That scene took like I want to say all of the tension I had completely gone. Like it sucked up anything I
I
was
mean,
worried
if
about.
we're gonna do a review on it, we should probably move on.
No, we should,
We
but
should. Well, maybe. I mean, we also promised a Spider Verse special, and we haven't really.
I just got the Blu-ray
He just
actually.
got the
I
Blu-ray,
showed my
so
mom and my stepdad, and they liked it.
the
And
movie.
yeah,
Oh, nice.
my mom was a little confused. Not gonna lie, because she didn't understand exactly how the spider people got there.
Sure.
But whatever.
DNA teleports
Yep.
people with a
Yep.
big what do you call it? The converter?
Collider.
Collider. There you go.
Tomorrow, my collider. Hour.
My collider. It's
My
my turn to
collider.
play with the collider.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we could talk about you know,
Dora
as
the Explorer. I
I
don't
mean, Dora
know.
the Explorer. I
Like
mean,
there's not being many news like recently
no.
about
There was
anything.
the Apple TV Plus subscription service coming out in the fall. It
I
has
mean, they've been planning that for so
they
long.
have, but like I I know like people have been saying for years now, like at least since I've been in college, I've had professors saying that Apple has like they're making stuff, like Apple is producing content. I was like, what are they doing? Like I nothing yet. And I'm assuming they have like a back catalog of things because I think they said over 100 originals that are debuting with the service
Oh,
or something
wow.
like that. And I think it includes movies as well as TV shows.
We'll
Um,
see.
but like, man, I I feel very uncomfortable with that. Actually, like the whole like Apple is
Oh
becoming
wait.
just too big.
Yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of becoming too big. Oh my God, my mind just like exploded. The Disney Fox convergence is
Oh,
happening.
oh
Like,
yeah,
well, it just happened. I think. Yeah,
21st century is now
yeah.
gone, right?
I don't
I
know
don't
what's
know if
gonna
they're
happen.
keeping the
Like, it may
studio.
be a division of distribution or whatever. But yeah, like that's pretty big. But I
Oh
guess
yeah. I mean,
because
we
everyone's
knew it
been
was
talking about.
happening. We just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. But it's
what
just
did they
like
finally settle on? Because like Disney had to like sell stock or something like that, like to like I remember they had to like to make it not like a monopoly. They had to like sell a bunch of stock in other companies or something like that to like it
interesting.
was
No, I
something
don't know
weird like the
much about that.
FCC made them like to
That
make it more
FCC.
fair.
Don't get
Whatever.
on the way of my man Bob Igers. He knows what he's doing. FCC
I saw him talk one time. Okay,
in
so
person.
there was these there's always a Q&A question like stuff that happens after like a talk, and these kids like students or whatever were asking him these really like I felt like attacking questions, like something that a journalist would ask as like sort of they're running by, or like maybe like a person is like walking past and they're like, sir, can I what do you
Like
think about
TMC kind of
yeah like
stupid questions.
and he just completely just took over and was like he gave facts, he was calm, collected, he was just like exactly what a CEO I think would be like.
Would you
And
vote for Bob Iger for president?
no, but like he's the guy I think that can talk the talk very well. And I was never more like afraid of somebody I think from so far away, just because
Afraid?
like
Interesting.
when you see somebody talk that well, and like
Oh yeah,
they
it's
can just
intimidating.
completely like spin somebody's emotion, like asking the question. um I was just I was dumbfounded. I was like, this man is literally like a monster. Like I don't know, I'm not saying he's a monster, I'm just saying like he's a beast, if that makes sense. Like he can I see why he's a CEO of Disney, because he has a way with words. And like I think he would be very intimidating if you were on like the wrong side of him,
Hmm.
because I feel like he's methodical in the sense of, like what he says, like everything he says has like he doesn't slip up in what he says. What he says is what he means to say. And like I don't know, there's something that scares me, like when somebody is that in control of like how they like how they know things are gonna play out almost.
Mm.
But it was a fascinating talk. I mean, just
Yeah,
listen to talk about nothing. But Disney, I would still love to work with you, uh, Bob.
yeah.
uh,
Bob.
but
I
yeah,
guess last piece of news that came out while we were gone. James Gunn officially back for Guardians 3.
I didn't look into it, but they said that it was something like the reason why he's back is not why we know it or something like that. Like there's like it's not.
Well, didn't Dave Bautista say like if he's not in like if he's not working on it, consider me gone?
He said that, but like
I don't know.
is
Like
he?
I
I
feel
think
like
they
the
still gave
entire
him.
cast wanting to work with him and no one else. So I don't know what the full story is, but like the story is he is back, and that's a fact.
I think it might have to do
And
something
he's
with
also doing
money.
Suicide Squad too.
He is,
Yeah, so like
which
conflict of interest. I don't know.
somebody Will didn't Will Smith drop or something?
From Suicide Squad too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think Will Smith dropped from Suicide Squad, or somebody dropped from the Harley Quinn movie.
The Birds of Prey.
Yeah, somebody was in it. And I don't know. Something happened. Something's going on over there. I don't know what.
Well, Ben Affleck dropped, but that was a while ago. Like the
Oh,
DCEU is dead. Like I'm pretty like
I
I
mean,
wouldn't be surprised if Shazam next week is like a soft reboot of the entire DCEU universe.
I've heard like a lot of very positive things about Shazam. Like people are saying that on the tail of Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and like Shazam, that the DCEU has a like bright future, and that makes me very happy because a lot of people didn't like Aquaman, and
Didn't
I
see
I
it.
thought it was exactly what I wanted it to be. I didn't. It's not a good movie, but like it was fun for me, and I could watch it. It's one of those movies I think I could just watch whenever, like if it was on TV or something. So I give it credit for that, and I'm expecting Shazam to be better. I've heard that this movie is actually good, so
We'll see.
we'll see. But I guess now let's get into the thing we both watched. The next segment of our show. We watched Russian Doll, the
The
first two episodes.
the Netflix show.
Yeah, Amy Poehler
Amy Poehler
produced, written,
and
wrote it.
created
Yeah,
alongside Natasha Leon. Is that
is
her
it the
name?
actor?
Yeah, the lead actress.
Oh,
She's
okay.
also in Orange Is the New Black and some other stuff.
Oh,
Like she's
okay. I
in
was like,
a
why is she
lot of
so
stuff.
familiar?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. But I
We
guess
watched the
spoiler
first two
free. First two
episodes.
episodes.
I mean,
Spoiler free. What is your blind reaction to it?
my blind reaction to it. Well, when I saw the trailers, I was like, "Oh, we're doing Groundhog Day again," which everyone said. So, my blind reaction, I guess, to start is this is supposed to be like a dark comedy. I mean, it's supposed to be because it's all
Supposed to
about
be.
death and I mean, all brands of comedy are really diverse and not like if you say dark comedy, I can think of a completely different answer than you. Uh, but this personally, I didn't find that funny.
No,
That
no,
was
I
me.
didn't laugh at all.
Yeah, I didn't laugh once. Uh, I thought it looked like if you were to tell me, think of a Netflix show, describe it to me, like a cookie cutter Netflix show.
Hmm.
This is what I would say: the colors, the cinematography, the editing, the soundtrack, like the inter songs, and like I don't know, it was just like a Netflix show. Uh,
I I disagree a
oh
little
yeah.
bit because I feel like I think it's a. I thought it looked good. I mean, I felt like it looked better than something I'd see on the CW. Like a lot of the time when I
Well,
see
that's why I say
sitcoms or
like it's a
like
Netflix show. Like it looks good, but nothing that really stands out per se. I don't
there
know.
is, I never felt like I was blown away by anything. Like cinematography or wise or like I think the lighting was good.
Yeah,
And there's some pretty good set design I think. And the one thing I think, because it is a lot like Groundhog Day, I feel like the extras that they have for the show basically starts at a party, at her birthday party or something like that. I don't know how,
36th birthday.
like,
Yeah.
can you imagine filming something like that? Like, you have to shoot everything there probably like all at once. So the
Well,
entire season, they're probably just like having all these people party and like just shooting all of that. Like, it's got to be super annoying,
yeah, like they
probably.
probably spent like a month in that shooting
Like
location.
just in that
Just
that
in that
yeah,
location, yeah.
yeah. And I was like, God, I had honestly, it's never occurred to me because I feel like movies, um like if they have a Groundhog Day thing, like they don't, it's probably not the same thing like this. I mean, I did
Happy
see
Death
Happy Death
Day.
Day 2, but Happy Death Day 1 was another like, you know I live, I die, I die. Or what is it? What is this? The saying from Mad Max? I live, I die, I die, I live again, or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know. It was. I like that. That's a
Well,
great movie.
it's also like
But
Edge of Tomorrow.
I never finished that movie, and I was so mad because I was in a hotel room and like I was like, "Wow, this is dope," and like I was, or somebody was like, "We got to go." I was
But
like,
okay,
"Oh
going
my
back
god."
to
Okay, but
Russian
Russian
Doll.
Doll, like, I think part of the reason why I don't think this movie works,
It's a
or no
series.
show, this show works is the the Groundhog Day effect or
Uh huh.
whatever. The way she dies is so unbelievable and
Yeah,
like and
every single
predictable.
time.
And there's a whole bit like sort of with the staircase outside the apartment, and I don't know how she died on that thing 4 times in a row. Like in the same sequence, and I was like, what is going on? Like, do they think this is funny? Because it's not funny watching somebody like trip over and just fall down a bunch of stairs. Like, just take a minute, like just take a second, and then look where your feet are going. Like, it's not that hard. And she dies like a couple times, just like unbelievable like
Well,
stuff.
I guess there's some mystery going on. Like, why is she in a time loop per se?
Yeah.
And well, I don't know if it's just like destiny or the universe like making her die like somehow, but like that's
Yeah.
not yet explained
So,
per
okay,
se.
that's another issue I have. The first 2 episodes of this feel like a pilot,
Yeah.
like where they're explaining the premise of the show, but they don't even explain it. I feel like episode 3 would also like. I didn't see episode 3. I'm assuming episode 3 is where we find out why or
I
like
don't think so. I think it's gonna
that's the
drag on
serious
for a while.
question.
Probably, yeah.
Because for me, I think you could get with something if the show is just going to be like this constantly, you could get the same effect watching the first episode, knowing that she just dies over and over again, and then just watching the last episode. Because I'm assuming nothing realistically has changed. Like I felt that they leaned way too heavily on the dying aspect of it. Like in
Hmm.
Happy Death Day, there's a whole montage where she's like sort of trying to find the killer. She's getting killed. It's kind of like a fun montage actually. Like they have some like pop music or something on it, and it's like you're not really scared for her. She's just getting killed. Like she's just trying to figure it out. But
Hmm.
it's just like a bit they do, and she dies more times than that. But like they sort of like pace it pretty well, and I felt like in what I did see of whatchamacallit,
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow, they paced it pretty well. Like the pacing in this show was just terrible because like she keeps dying and coming back and just keeps dying. Like she died probably like maybe more than 10 times in the first 2 episodes. It's way too many times in like 40 minutes. Or no, are they 26 minutes or are they
24, 26 ish.
like if you're not even at an hour and you've died 10 times already, that's ridiculous. Like and just I felt like it was just so repetitive. I was exhausted watching the show. I think the fact that they leaned on the dying and coming back too much killed the humor because I wasn't enjoying what I was watching. I felt like we made no progress
Yeah, it
at
was
all.
not much progress. And I don't know if you felt the same way as I did about they try to do what I like to call quote unquote smart exposition, that it's just like, oh, he's here to see you, and someone is like, who is he? Oh, no one. He just is like his
Yeah.
ex-boyfriend or something. It's like, or like the mommy
Yeah.
issues, or like they try not to
Yeah.
be too explicit about it, but they are
No, no, I remember
like, you
that.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I know
Like
exactly what
they
you're talking
try to
about.
be like, okay, we gotta let the audience know that like her mom had like serious issues, but we don't want to be blatant about it, so we need
Yeah.
to find a way to organically incorporate it. It's like
I thought
it,
they
it
did okay. I think the the reason why it wasn't working is because I wasn't enjoying any other aspects of the show at that time when we like you get to the exposition. And also I don't have questions about her mom, I don't why do I care about her mom, I'm the one thing this show I think fails to do in the first 2 episodes is it
make you
doesn't
intrigued.
I'm not like I'm confused again back to the confusion. Like I don't like being confused when I'm watching stuff because like I like to be I like to feel like there's mystery and I a little bit of confusion, but I need to see where things could be going. Like I in my head, I have to have an idea of where things are going. And like I don't understand why you're talking about her mom. She like grabs her necklace at some point or something.
Uh-huh.
And did she get killed in that ambulance? We're kind of
Yes,
veering into spoilers. Did they kill her or she get
they crashed
Okay, yeah, that's
and they
right.
all died, I
That's right.
guess,
That's
or
right.
or maybe she was the only one who died.
Yeah. I don't know that there was a couple just
And
I don't
I guess
know.
because this is a show that, yeah, well, it's not a regular TV show that's on a network.
Yeah,
They can curse and say all kinds of offensive stuff that they
yeah.
want. I don't know, like sometimes the cursing, it's not that I'm opposed to it, but it's just like, I don't know. There was something about this that was like, well, it's not like what they're saying is not funny, or like they're
Yeah.
not even delivering it in such a way. Like,
You
I
know
guess
what I
they're
think?
trying. Like, I don't even feel like real people talk like that. So I don't
I
even
don't
know what they were
either,
trying to
but
achieve
like
by having
maybe
like
they're New
that much.
Yorkers or something, and that's what New
Oh
Yorkers
my
talk.
god! Speaking of New Yorkers, like the entire cast was so pretentious. Everyone would just like talk about philosophy, talk
Yeah.
about metaphysics, or talk about
I
like
I kind of thought that was a little bit funny, but
you
like
did.
because I'm assuming like in this she's a part of this like affluent community in like New York or this like sort of secret like 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 not underground but like they're just like the rich people who all know each other and I don't know how rich she is. She works at a tech company and I'm assuming she does well for herself. Um I felt like going back to the swearing, I like when I watch sitcoms because when you watch like Parks and Rec or The Office or something like that, they bleep it,
Uh huh.
and I love bleeps or like
You
South
do.
Park. I love the bleep. I don't know why. Like
You do. No, South Park annoys me. Like
I don't
I'd
well
rather
okay
watch South Park uncensored.
in like the newer seasons I agree. In older seasons I felt like they just were so much more fun. I felt like everybody is too grown up now. Like the kids, I feel like are more grown up now. So like when they were younger, it kind of just felt like kids swearing to swear.
Hmm.
And I think that like the bleeps always are so funny. Like in Family Guy, when I hear bleeps, I don't know. I think the bleeps work for sitcoms for me, and I think if I'm watching a drama, I prefer to hear them. But I think in comedy, I like the bleeps. This show I think could have benefited from something like that, or they should have
It's
just.
too much cursing.
I
Like the bleeping would be really annoying. I
I
thought
think you're right. I think the solution is just tone it down a little bit, but
maybe not even tone it down, but like I don't know. Like it didn't feel like I don't know.
I don't know
I
what New
just
York
wasn't
is
into
like,
the
so maybe this is authentic. Like I've
maybe,
never been to New
but
York,
like
but
they're just like I don't know. I found most of the characters kind of annoying, to be honest.
I
Like
don't know if they even like each other. Like
I
the
think
girl
that's
who's
part of
throwing
the
the
whole
party.
like New Yorker stuff. Like they
True.
just hang out for no other reason other than to party and get high or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean
I don't even
I
care. Like I'm not those kinds of people who thinks like all characters should be likable and relatable. But I don't believe that at all. But it's just like the cast was so uninteresting and not compelling at all. Like it's just like I don't care. Like if I
mm,
think by the end of the second episode, they're hinting that the entire universe is kind of like collapsing.
oh
Like, did
no,
you?
because the plant is
Yeah,
dying
yeah,
and
yeah.
like I
So
just don't
I don't
care
care
though. Like
if this entire universe collapses. Like,
you know why I don't care? Because they didn't set any of that up in the first episode at all. They didn't like if the universe is falling apart, why is this one girl like there's no like urgency to get to the point about like why this is happening. And like I think that's the biggest issue with this show and the pilot specifically is because like when I watched the pilot, I was like, that was it. Like there was I feel like I was just lacking information. And I don't like when shows deliberately like don't give you information just so you keep watching. Um like I'm not talking about cliffhangers because cliffhangers like somebody shoots somebody and you're like, oh well, that person's dead, but who shot them? I don't know, right? Or like
mhm.
like I know they're dead, I know somebody's gonna be on the run or something. I have information. This one was just like they would just end the episode like on seemingly something just insignificant. Like on the first episode I don't remember what did it end on the first one.
She was walking out of the party. I think the guy she had sex with in like the first time. Well, not even the first time. Like before she first died, he was like, "Be careful," and she's like, "Be careful," and she just like walks out. I
I
think that
think
was it.
she I think she died and woke up back in the bathroom.
No, I think
Like the
she walked out of
second
the
that was the
party.
second episode,
Was
I
that the
think.
second episode?
The first one, I think she
Uh,
also. I think they both ended on her being back in the same apartment. I don't remember exactly. I just remember not. I felt like I just didn't have information. I was very like. I was so ready to be done. I felt exhausted watching these two episodes because just it was just so much
do you
happening.
think
So much
this?
just. death and living and death and living.
Do you think this would have benefited if it was a movie instead of a series? Like,
One
so
hundred
like
percent,
condense everything
a
and just
hundred
get everything
percent.
moving way faster.
Yeah, I
Condense the cast even. Like, I don't know. Like,
it felt like I don't even
it
know
was a
like
big cast, but I still
yeah
don't
like
see the purpose of all of them. Uh, I don't know.
I also the one thing that like it gets annoying I think when you have a movie like this is like so um it's like when they first come back to life and they're in the same exact position they were and like somebody will say something like call back to them and she's like hey come over here or whatever you know like if that person says hey come over here every time it's like I get really annoyed if that and just seeing that scene like I don't need to see that interaction every single time I just need to see her coming back to life. I feel like this show like didn't know how to do that to where it wasn't annoying. I feel like every time she died, she'd go out and her friend cooking something would like say the same thing or something like that. Or like then she'd have the same kind of conversation with her every single time almost. And then her friend would say something similar as she said before. And it's like you're having like slightly different interactions with the same person, but like everything you're saying is still very similar to like what you said before. You know, like just the whole thing I felt was it was just not done well. I was
From a
very
story perspective, right? Because I
just
mean, even
from
the performances, they were fine. Nothing really stood out to me. But yeah, like the story just seems like it would have benefited from a really, really harsh like rewrite. You know, like just get
I
everything
feel
moving.
bad saying this because I don't know what Amy Poehler's involvement with Parks and Rec was, but like I love Parks and Rec and I love Leslie Nope. Like I even from the first like the people are always like on about the first season being bad, and I'm like first season Parks and Rec is just it's not as good as the rest. I think or it's not as good as it gets way better, but I still like the first season and even the pilot I liked a lot more, and I feel bad because I really like Amy Poehler. I'm a big fan of her, and
Yeah,
I
she's
feel
great.
bad like not liking this show, but I was so ready to be done with it. Like I'm being very. I just felt exhausted. It's I don't know because it's like you're running in a circle and you just keep coming back to the to start and you just keep running laps, but you're not learning anything. You're just staying in that circle. You know, every now and then it's just like something might happen, but then you're nope, you're right back on the circle. You know, I was so tired of it. I was so tired of it. Okay, maybe we can move on to our next segment. I watch, you watch.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Okay, so
You
this
want to go
week I
first?
watched Amazon Prime original series created by Bryan Cranston and some other dude.
Yep. Some other dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry, other dude. But it's just like Bryan Cranston. He's got a place in my heart. Like,
Same.
dude, he's just like every time I see him on
Yeah.
screen, it's just like,
I'm willing to give whatever he's in a shot. I
yeah,
mean, like it could probably be bad. I've been watching Malcolm in the Middle again.
oh,
So good.
so
Oh my
good.
god. Like he's incredible.
But
But
the
Sneaky
show is
Pete.
called Sneaky Pete. Uh, um, what do you watch?
I saw Netflix's original movie Paddleton. It's a what's his name? The
Ray
something
Romano,
Ray Romano and it's something with a D. They've made I can't remember his name.
The Big Sick.
N-
No.
maybe I don't know. They actually went to our school.
Oh well.
I forget his name, but they're the Duplass brothers.
Mm,
I believe written and directed, maybe not directed, but I think written by one of the brothers and starring one of the brothers. Produced by both of them. Yeah, so that's what I watched.
okay.
Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go
I'll
first?
go first.
Mm,
So Sneaky Pete, it's about this con artist in prison who is wanted by the Bryan Cranston character called Vince.
mm,
And so he becomes an imposter from someone he met in prison, and he goes to the person he met in prison was named Pete,
mm,
and so he goes to the farm that Pete constantly talked about from his childhood, and so he goes to the grandparents of the real Pete, saying he's Pete, and so he's hiding from this dude he owes money to by pretending to be a member of the family, but this family is kind of not really. I mean, it is falling apart, but not in the really dramatic way. Like,
mm,
oh, there's a drug addiction and affair. It's just like it's just a family down on its luck because they have a bail business. I don't really know how that works. It's just like if people are on bail, they're supposed to
Oh
get
yeah.
them to pay, basically.
They make money off of the interest, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's what they do. And so that's the basic premise of the show. And I'm going to say I love imposter stories, like people knowing that something's off, or like just like those are my kind of stories. But the thing is, like, we as an audience know from the get-go that Marius, that's the real name of the main character,
Mhm.
is an imposter for Pete. I feel like it would have been a great like end of pilot twist reveal that he's not actually Pete. Like, I don't know, I would have
Oh
been blown away by it, and I would have been like even more hooked. But the fact that the story actually, well, that's how it begins, like him
yeah,
talking to Pete, and it's like, oh, so where's the farm? And like,
yeah.
uh,
I bet there's a version of that that for
m-
some
probably a
reason they
draft. Uh, but other than that, well, the reveal at the end, uh, there's an opening credit sequence, and like it just says created by Bryan Cranston, story by Bryan Cranston, produced by Bryan Cranston, but he's not amongst the cast. He appears in the end of the first episode, so it's like,
Oh,
ah, he's here, and he's
nice.
like super present in the second episode.
Oh,
So like
great.
I feel like he's actually uh well, he's the antagonist basically of the series. And whenever
Interesting.
I see this man on screen, it's like he's doing a great job. He's just
Yeah.
an amazing actor, and well, he knows this story because he came up with it. So
Yeah.
it's like interesting to him interact with his own creation. Um, I don't know.
Did you let me just
Yeah,
did you
ask
like it?
questions. Yes, but I'm not like dying to keep on watching.
Okay.
Maybe because this kind of took a well. The first episode was almost like a procedural. Like like to me, this is like an imposter
Oh.
story, but like it became a procedural on bail, like
Okay.
on the
Like
family.
who are they collecting their money from this
Yeah,
week?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it's
I
just
mean,
like that's weird because
interesting.
uh although the second episode wasn't didn't rely much on that, so that just makes it like feel more disconnected. Like, I don't know, I feel like the show is not as focused as it could be.
Okay.
I would have liked to see more commitment as to what the story is. I mean, there's a clear is what we're following and what the stakes are, because Pete, I'm gonna call him Pete
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to make it simple. He has a brother, and he's an idiot. Like,
Oh,
basically, he
okay.
he like all the troubles that Pete's suffering from is because of his brother,
Mm.
and basically he's trying to save his brother. So there's a lot of stuff going on. The show, I feel like the dialogue is good. Like, it's a competent
Do you
show.
think it's well made? Like
Yeah, but nothing that's like worth dying for.
is
It's
it
nothing.
all comparable to like anything you see
Oh,
on Netflix?
uh, I guess it's kind of like Jack Ryan. Oh wait, have you seen Jack
I haven't
Ryan?
seen Jack
Okay. Like the cinematography and
I feel like Amazon has a style, right?
yeah,
From what I've seen from their
from
stuff. They have a
yeah, but I
certain
I can
way.
really think of other Amazon show than those two for the moment. Oh, I guess Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
I haven't
You
seen
haven't
that
seen it?
yet.
I mean,
I
it's
hear it's
just like really clean cinematography.
okay.
Not like sometimes movement, sometimes not. Slow mo where they want to look cool. There's some like rock guitar when like they just want to amp up the cool moments.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt kind of cookie cutter sometimes to me.
Okay.
Like nothing that was like, oh yeah, like this is the vision that we have, and we're gonna push it to the max.
Mm.
Um,
So, do you like the main actor for Pete or whatever? Sneaky Pete.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't,
Okay.
because when I don't know what's up, but like sometimes he kind of talks like a dork. Like at first I thought that was the way he talked when he pretended to be Pete, but like no, sometimes when he's himself, he also kind of talks like I don't know, he has a weird accent or like a speech kind of quirk about him. And sometimes it's just his voice, but like other than that, like his physical acting is pretty good.
Okay.
He has a way with lying to people on the spot. Like he's really good coming up with stories to get what he wants. Like he has a way with people, so, and that's probably why I thought that like what I told you, that it's actually a twist that
Mm,
he's not actually Pete, because he's constantly lying in front of his cousin.
mm.
Uh, and so if that was like you're foreshadowing that his persona is also a lie, that would have been cool. But I don't know. It's just like
Would
I
you?
feel like this show could have been way more. You
Okay.
know,
Would you recommend it to anybody based off what you've seen right now? Like,
based off what I've seen right now, I'd be like, give it a watch. You're probably not gonna be bored if I'm honest. But
okay,
like I feel like you may think you have either better shows to watch or just better stuff to do sometimes. Like I don't know, like I
oh,
wasn't completely sold on it. Like if I don't keep on watching, I don't feel like I'm missing out on a grand story that like
okay.
no one else could have told. Like I don't know, it's just like it lacks that kind of momentum. It's just
I'm not gonna lie.
okay.
I've been on this whole bender recently about like shows or movies that are mediocre. Like
Mhm.
I'm getting very tired of seeing things that have money thrown at them, and I
Mhm.
don't know like how or why it got the budget it did.
Well,
Like
because
I go Bryan Cranston, but like
and Amy Poehler for Russian
yeah,
Doll,
like
and
I
like
mean you
every
have a
single
name.
thing
It's
we've
just
seen lately, like it has at least
like
one big
one
name
yeah.
attached, and they give all the money because of that one big name.
I don't like just but who like signs off on some of this stuff? Because I'm actually kind of curious about Sticky Pizza. I might give it a watch, but like I've had that fear that it was just okay.
Hmm.
Do you know how many seasons it has?
I think two
I think
as of right now,
I don't know if it got renewed for a third or
maybe.
I don't remember. But you know, I guess I'll give it a watch it. So,
I will say a lot of the stuff does require you to suspend your disbelief, because sometimes, like, if
mm,
you think about it 2 seconds, it's like, no, that wouldn't have happened, or like, that's kind of forced. Like it feels like, dude, wouldn't it be cool if he has to have like in a farm, and it's like the reason how they get around some stuff, like some of the logic, it's not 100% there
okay,
sometimes. So like, I don't know. It's also it's an okay show. So like that's my thing. So if you're so like bent on only having like really top notch stuff, maybe this won't be the show for you. I mean, I could be completely wrong. Maybe the reason why I wasn't enjoying it as much is like the whole knowing this is an imposter story, but the imposter stuff is like right from the get-go instead
okay,
of a twist. So I don't know if this is just a personal bias of mine. Maybe people would enjoy it way more than I can. And I
okay,
mean, the performances are solid, like honestly,
all right,
and some good lines, some good dialogue here or there. But
okay.
yeah,
Probably gonna give it a shot for
maybe.
Daddy Cranston. So I guess we can move on to what I watched. I saw Paddleton. So I guess basic story of Paddleton, like a log line, is two neighbors who are best friends. They go to a doctor's office together, and they discover that one of them has like I think stage 4 like cancer or something like that, like inoperable. They're basically he's gonna die. And the I guess sort of premise of the movie is they go to this town to get these pills. Like there's apparently like doctors that'll prescribe these pills that if you take them, they'll kill you. Like you can
Like cyanide.
like yeah, like medically induced suicide. It's not cyanide. It's like they don't really explain what it is, and honestly, I don't even know if it's real. Like what this is talking about, like the drugs. Um, and basically, the guy who has cancer, he decides to that he wants to do that, and I think that's which is I think his name is Mark Duplass. And Ray Romano is his neighbor and friend. And the movie is called Paddleton because it's a game they play. It's kind of like sort of a throwaway title, but it's also like kind of important to Ray Romano. It's just like it, like the memories of it. It's honestly, I want to say one thing about this movie. It is good, like really good. It brought me to tears.
Damn.
Yeah, I was Ray. There's one scene in this movie that, like, Ray Romano, I think could get nominated for an Oscar for. He is just like he has arrived as a dramatic actor. I think. Interestingly, I think this movie is mostly improv.
Really?
Yeah, I think they had like a beat structure that they needed to hit, but for a lot of it, I think the dialogue was more or less just like very improvised. And there's some like there's no real like revolutionary cinematography or anything like that, and um, like it's just it's fine. Like it looks good. I mean, the movie looks good. It's incredibly low budget. I couldn't find how much like what the budget was for this movie, but I can't imagine it's like more than a million. Like I think it could be like 500,000 or something. Like unless like you're talking about like paying Ray Romano and Mark Duplass. Like I feel like their paychecks probably cost more than the production budget for this entire movie. Um, but like they are, I thought they were really good, like chemistry together as friends, like in terms of like what they were. Ray Romano is kind of like the awkward friend, more or less, and Mark Duplass, he is the like the less awkward one. I mean, he's still kind of awkward, but like he's not as awkward. Um, but this movie is dark. Like, I don't know if you're like I was not expecting the movie to go where it was at all. I walked into it watching no trailers, no anything, and like instantly, the first scene is you learning about one of them having like inoperable or not inoperable, but you just know he has cancer. Um, but man, like this movie is just so like it just gets you. I mean, like it hits you real hard, and there's some fun moments. Like I really like Ray Romano. I'm a big Ray Romano fan. I grew up watching Everybody Loves Raymond, and I just Ice Age, and I think he is just he's here. He's arrived as a dramatic actor, and I'm actually really like excited to see what he does in the future. And I think I would recommend this movie to basically anyone. I mean, it's kind of dark if you aren't comfortable with that sort of being this premise, like these two friends getting drugs for one of them so he can medically induce suicide. It's a pretty dark story, I guess, but I don't know. It feels very small and very personal, and I think both the actors did a great job. There's not that many like people in this movie. I think maybe there is like five or six talking people, including the main two.
Wow.
So there's like barely anybody at all in this movie. There's a great thing they do with like a movie that they like to watch. They watch it like over and over again. It's just this like cheesy kung fu movie, and it has like some parallels to what's going on in there. Like oddly enough, it has like parallels to like what is happening in their life, and I don't know. I thought it was just very well made. I thought the dialogue was great. I don't know if it was written or scripted. Because I think I looked up and it said most of it was um, you know
Ad lib.
ad lib or whatever. Forgetting the word, but you know highly recommend it. I think you should definitely watch this. Like I solidly recommend this movie. I was blown away by how good it was. Like honestly, like Netflix, this movie I feel like is not getting enough like praise or
Hmm.
critically. I think it has like a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. But like it has like nobody's talking about it, and I feel so bad because it's like it's genuinely a good movie, and I think more people or Netflix should do more to like sort of put it on people's home pages or something, or like I don't know, like just do what they do and they have a new product out. Just put it in people's faces a little bit more, because I think everybody should watch it. But yeah, like I don't. Do you have any questions about it?
No, it sounds like a really good recommendation, I guess.
Yeah,
Like, just
I was just like from the opening get go, like everything felt so like personal and like just it was just such a good story. Like I don't know, like well not a good. I mean it was a good story, but like it was just it's the kind of movie that like I hope I can make one day. If that makes sense. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
low budget, the acting is incredible. Like I don't know, it's such a small story and but like it's what it's dealing with is very profound and like, just kind of sad and I mean like it's just a good drama. Like I and it's a bit of a dramedy. There's humor. I mean, Ray Romano, like
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get the you're gonna get some laughs. Unless you're not a big Ray Romano fan. But then you're gonna get Ray Romano. So, I don't know. But overall I honestly I feel like I've just been on this movies, just riding it real hard. But everyone please go watch it. It's great.
There
Except
you
for you
go.
kids. Because kids should not be pondering such questions as life and death.
Damn.
Yes.
Well, that was deep.
Yes.
Well, I guess we can move on to what we're watching next week.
Next week,
So,
together we're watching the Netflix original series. Honestly, I want to watch all of it. I don't know how long it is, but if you want to watch all of it, I would.
let's see how many we can watch.
It's true. It's
Love,
Love,
Death,
Death,
and
and Robots.
Robots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna check that out.
Anthology animated series, and I'm pretty sure
I
like
think there's live action as
there's
well.
live action as well.
I think it's a
Okay.
hybrid
I'm
sometimes.
pretty sure like every single short is like a completely different team, right? Or
Yeah,
style. I
I
don't
think
know.
I think it's a different. I think it's different people. Who made it again? Is it David Fincher?
I think he's a producer.
Okay. I don't know. I'm very excited for it because I've heard good things.
I've
I've
heard
heard
mixed things.
Okay, I've heard
So
some of
I
them
would
are
say
better than others of them. Like I heard some of them are really good, and then others are just like okay.
we'll see. We'll see.
But
Once we watch
okay,
it, we
yeah,
can
we'll watch
discuss
it.
it.
And then, what are you watching for me? No, wait, I'm asking you
What are you asking me to
to
watch?
to watch the new Netflix movie Triple Frontier.
Triple Four on tier. Doesn't he have? Is
It has
it Ben Affleck,
it's a
Oscar Isaac,
star-studded cast.
and Pedro Pascal? Is it?
Yep, Charlie Hunnam from Sons of
Oh
Anarchy,
wow.
and there's five people. There's another guy I don't know who he is though.
Okay.
But
Well,
yeah, it's a pretty star-studded
I'll
cast.
check it out. And then let's go back to in the spirit of the some of the animated shorts of Love, Death, and Robots, I'll have you watch another anime.
Woo!
Yay! Let's hope this is better than
Dragon
Dragon
Pilot.
Pilot.
Oh my god.
So this one's called The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. I mean, it's a Netflix has the exclusive rights to this show, so I
Interesting.
mean, you probably know watch it dubbed. I don't know what it's about. I'm assuming the main character is a psychic because Psyche K sounds like psychic, but I'm not
It
sure.
could just be the name, honestly.
It could just be a slice of life. I don't know. I don't
Interesting.
have no clue about the show, but I've heard it's good.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I'll check it
but
out.
that's also what I heard about Dragon Pilot. So, the anime community doesn't know what's good sometimes.
Uh,
Apparently, I don't know.
have you seen Dragon Pilot?
Nope.
Please watch. Like just I feel like nobody.
Nobody
No,
understands
I
your
don't know
pain.
anybody who's seen it. Like nobody just. I can't talk to anybody about like because nobody shares what I've seen. Like I've seen things.
I've seen things you
People
people would
wouldn't
not
believe.
believe.
Yeah, like it was just super weird. But all right, I guess that's good. We'll probably get a Shazam review out next week. We might
Maybe
maybe
Dumbo this
Dumbo,
week.
possibly.
Maybe
I don't know.
us. We'll see what we're able to
Yeah, if you
watch.
watch Us, maybe Us. I'd probably rather do Us than Dumbo personally, because I don't. Not a
Okay.
big
Well,
Dumbo. Not a big Dumbo or Tim Burton fan really, but
we'll see. We'll see.
I guess we'll catch y'all later.
Thank you guys.
Peace.
Bye.
The X. You the X. Oh my
You
god.
can't click the X.